everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got another installment of new stamps. Now what? The only web series that takes a set of stamps that have never been used and uses them. I can't back that up. I have no idea. There might be many other web series that do the same thing, but you know what? Those people, they're not me. Pretty sure. Today we're going to get right into it and I'm going to show you the stamps, but I'm also going to include some dies because I have stamps and dies and I thought they were super cute when I got them and I've done nothing with them. So today we're going to solve that. Does that sound good? Cool. Shall we? Hello, it's me in the tiny circle. Thank you. Okay, first things first, I want to show you the stamps and the dies that I'm using today. This is the MFT, my favorite thing, stamps. Heap of Hellos. Heap of Hellos. How clever is that? I love alliteration. I love the hand-drawn look of these stamps. And, you know, they're all-purpose, right? They're all-purpose. You could do anything with these. But I've done nothing with them. So therein lies the point of this video. And there is the MFT Stamps Straight Up Rainbows, okay? This is a really cool rainbow maker. Again, I've done nothing with it, and you can tell because I haven't even cut it apart. So we're gonna be doing some, die cutting today. No pun intended. Or pun intended? Yeah. So this is what I'm going to use today, and I don't know exactly how it's gonna look, but I can tell you this, it will be simple because that's what I do. I do cards that are simple, and I want to inspire you to do the same thing. Keep it simple, start out simple, and then you can get crazier as you go. Do you know what I'm saying? Or you could, you can do that from the outset too. So that's what we're going to do. You ready? So I need to fade out for a second and pull some products. And when I get those products, because I really don't know, I'm going to get some scraps of cardstock, and we'll start out by cutting the dies apart and then doing some die cutting first. So I think what I'm going to do is I just got Concord and 9th cardstock. So I'm going to pick a rainbow of color. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to pick 7 colors out of this pack and cut down some scrap sizes. What I usually do is I will take out a piece of cardstock, right? And then I will cut it into, how do you say this? I cut it into 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of this, and I will just be using my my big old guillotine trimmer, but I'll cut these scraps really quickly off camera. I'll be right back, and then we will start die cutting. Okay, I have picked a rainbow of cardstock here, and I'm not going to use, well, actually, here's what I can't decide. I may just cut strips out of all of it, because if I do that, then I can make multiple cards. So if I like this card, I could make multiples and I could have little hello cards on hand. So I think I'm going to do that. But this is my, when I do a rainbow, I kind of like to leave red out. I don't know why. I have some issues with red. And it goes back to being in my childhood. And it goes back to when I was a competitive figure roller skater. It's true. And my mother loved making red because I'm a winter. And I look great in red. And long story short, red makes me nervous. It reminds me of when I had to compete and I hated competing. So that's my story about red. I think that's subliminal and I'm sure my therapist would have a field day. But what we're going to do is we are going to get these out. And it's so funny because this is my new stamp set, but I'm really focusing on the die cutting first. So let's get out the little straight up rainbow die out of the pockets. And of course, I store all my stuff like Jennifer McGuire does. Jennifer and I have been friends for many, many years, and she has taught me everything I know. I just want you to know that. Okay, a little bit of these guys here. See these guys? They squeak. They sound terrible. I don't think I'm going to cut these apart yet, but we'll see. So I use these little nippers to just, come in. They're not very sharp. They're not very sharp, but what I try to do with this is I try to get as close, right, to the, we'll go like that, as possible. Now, I don't think I want to separate this because I'm pretty sure this cuts the face out. We can try it, but I do try to get, the little nubbies off so that they don't cause problems. But I'm going to leave that in the center because I think that's good. Now here, although, these are all the same size, so technically, if I, let's see. oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna, you know, maybe I just want to do one at a time because then I save all the cardstock. I know it seems counterintuitive, but I'm just going to break one off for now. And I am going to get that, just get this little guy like that. And now I have my dies. Okay, here's the funny thing about card making. And I have learned this from all of my years of card making, which is coming up on 4. Everybody does things a little bit differently. Everybody will do things in an order that might not make sense. And there have been so many awesome comments where people are like, dude, why didn't you do this? And it's always so obvious once the person points it out. So I'm going to go grab my die cut machine. Don't worry, we're going to get to some stamping, but we're going to die cut our rainbow out first. All right, here's what we're going to do. And this is probably smart to just do the one because then I will save my cardstock and this all goes into a scrap bin that I have, well, directly behind me. It's basically a scrap shelf. So all I'm going to do is go through, and again, I know this is squeaky. Someone gave me some great advice on, I can't remember, what did they tell me? They said, whatever you do, do not use WD-40. Oh, I know what it was. Someone left a comment on one of my recent videos and said dish soap. So I'm going to be trying that at some point. But there's strip 1. So we'll just keep going. And then this much cardstock is left over, so that can all be saved. And I want you to know something, and that something is this. I save every scrap of cardstock. Now, if it's crappy cardstock, I'm not going to say I have a ton of crappy cardstock, but I do have some cheap cardstock that maybe I use for, I don't know, just stamping stuff off or starting my glue on that I don't keep. But every other scrap I do keep. And another thing that is very helpful for me is that I have a swatch ring. Well, I don't have a swatch ring for this yet, but I have swatch rings for my cardstock. So I can go into that scrap bin, and if I forget what the color is, I can pull out that ring and be like, oh yeah, that's right. This is, in this case, Concord and 9th, or this is Gina K, or this is, Simon Says Stamp, wherever it is that I, have my cardstock from. So swatch rings, they're a lifesaver. I just use a little tag die for it. In fact, I could show you, and maybe I will, but maybe I won't. So I'm going to keep die cutting and saving my scraps. You know what I'm doing. So I think I'm going to keep doing this, and then I will come back and you will see all of, well, no, we'll move into the next phase, which will be the clouds. So I'll do this real quick and I'll be right back. How are we doing so far? We good? We good? Okay, just checking. Now I have my cloud face. Very cute. So I think I'm going to cut this out also of the Concord and 9th cardstock. This cardstock is really smooth. It's 80-pound weight. It's a little bit lighter, but it's a very smooth cardstock with a very tight weight. Ow! Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what I need to do? I need to actually keep looking at my, we almost had to bleep something out there, but you know what? I will tell you this. I'm a bit of a sailor in private life, but I'm actually pretty darn good at editing myself on the fly. That hurt like a mother. Okay. Now I need to get a little guy here. Oh, look at where this is. It's like my face is cut out. It's almost like I'm Mickey Mouse. I'll move that out of the side. Okay, so now this little guy and this little guy, I don't know. Maybe I do want to have little pink cheeks. Would that be cute? Actually, that would be cute, wouldn't it? So maybe what I want to do is, oh, well, I'll get these off here. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Listen to all these great sounds. Sounds that just aren't in an edited voiceover video. I think that I am going to pink cheek this up. So I'm going to bring back my pink cardstock, and we'll just cut another little guy out of here. I mean, actually though, here's what. No, so that is why you would probably want to cut it apart. But again, I'm not going to, because I feel like, that's fine. I can waste that much cardstock. I like that this little thing is centered. I'm going to go through again. All right, come back. And I think that's cute to have little pink cheeks. Did they come out of this guy? Nope, they're still in there. All hail the pokey tool. I know that most of them, I kind of wish, I'd love a black one, but I've had this one for so long that, okay, it doesn't really matter, right? You don't have to have the newest and the latest of everything, do you? I don't think you do. Okay, so there's that. I think, though, I may want to make his eyes. Now I'm torn. Now this is where the thought process comes in, because I haven't used this die at all before. Should I give him eyes and a smile in another color? The answer to that could be yes. I'm going to grab some gray cardstock and see how that would look. So I'm going to grab a little gray, I'll die cut it, and yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I've got a piece of the Dove cardstock, and I thought that would be cute to get his little face, or her little face. Maybe I'll just go, yeah. Oh wait, maybe, would that be? Well, you know what? It is what it is. It's going to be a scrap piece, so let's get our plate back on top. And let's just cut out a little face. And I might change my mind, but I don't know if I'm going to change my mind though, because I have to commit to this pretty soon. And the way I'm going to commit to it is by taping them into place. So you'll see. Let's see. Face. Oh, all the face stayed in there. Okay, setting that scrap aside, and we'll get you out of the way. Recording. Okay, so I'm going to poke out. Oh, did I lose his? Oh my gosh. No, I think I still got it. Poke. There's this face. Oh, these are so small. They're so small and they're so gray, I can barely make it out. That coming? One of them came. What about the other one? My glasses, people, I need a new prescription desperately. And the reality is I have that prescription. I just haven't done anything with it. Okay, I'm gonna get a couple tools here. This is my favorite thing in the world. Well, it's okay, that's not true. My family probably comes in higher than this, but 3M micro pour tape is a fun way to take your die cuts, right, and add elements into place. So because it's very thin, it doesn't get in the way, and what I like to do is just take a little out, right, take it like that, snip, okay. Did I make it too big? No, it's probably good. Go like that. Oh, I did get it just a tiny, can you see that? Perfection, people. There, we'll cut a little off. But I love this stuff for this very purpose. Let's set that aside because it's just easy. It's easy to cut a little piece. It's not bulky, and you're good to go for taping in your dies, or the fill-in parts. So let's start with the cheeks. I like this old pick-me-up tool. I've had this since my scrapbooking days, which I'm still in my scrapbooking days. Actually, let's flip that over. You know how there's a right and wrong side to a die cut because it has the smooth, almost beveled feel to it? You want to make sure that you're placing that in the right place. That looks good because it creates sort of this finished edge, and I love that. Okay, popping you in like that. Oh, how cute is that? I think it's pretty cute. Now these guys too, that's not the finished edge side, is it? Oh, I have a couple sets of glasses, and the ones that I have on right now, and actually I think I'm gonna have to use my tweezers for this. The ones that I have on now are called computer distance. And what that means is it allows me to see like a foot and a half away clearly. But when it comes to seeing things close up, I should keep my other glasses handy. My other glasses, however, I will tell you all this, they're so dated. They're so early 90s, and I really need an upgrade. And that's what I'm going to say. Okay, let's get this. You know what? Let's just pick it up like that. There we go. It's like I'm playing the game Operation, trying to get these in. But this is a really easy way to adhere them into place. No muss, no fuss, and then, well, there's a little fuss. I just lied to you. There's a little fuss. Then you can pop it up on your card base, which is what I'm going to do. Now, I will say this. So for this installment of New Stamps Now What, the fact that I'm going all in with a big die, well, not a big die cut, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want to mislead anyone, but I really hadn't used this yet. And when it came out, I had seen it, and I really wanted to do something fun with it. Oh, there's the other cheek. I lost one of my cheeks, and I had to re-die cut it off camera. Okay, I'm gonna move that aside, and now I need some dot runner. So you all know about the rainbow, right? The Roy G. Bivness aspect of it, the Roy Yeah, does that make sense? No, get back in there. You keep jumping. And believe me, if I don't pay attention and I don't say Roy G. Biv in my brain, I'm not going to do it in the right order. But the rainbow gives us great guidance for choosing inks for blending, choosing inks that will work together. And of course, with a straight up legitimate rainbow, it's kind of easy to do, but just always remember that Roy G. Biv. There's a number of people who have left comments who said, yeah, we didn't say that where I'm from. I'm like, I know. That's what we do here. So just, you know, like this, just a little. It doesn't need to, you know, completely, doesn't need, do I want to have the darker pink first? Oh, this is where I'm torn. I almost feel like it for value and hue, it needs to be not first. So I'm going to put this right on the edge of here. Okay. Like that. Just like that. And I think that's pretty straight, right? That way I can just gather these all together so that when it comes time to glue this to my card, I have it nice and straight. But let me look at that real quick. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I will take a little adhesive remover. This stuff is worth its weight in gold. Okay, I'm just going to cut that off. Cut it, get all that excess adhesive off. Oh, not quite there. Like that. I'm going to come here and make this the straight side. Cut. Listen to that. Oh, so good. Okay. And then I'm going to come here and just get that right on the edge. I think I'm going to do it right. Let's see. Is that clean? I don't know about you, but I think that looks pretty darn good. And then I'm going to come here and just cut this off too, because I don't think I'm going to need a rainbow that's quite this tall, because in order to stamp my sentiment, again, I haven't I haven't designed this yet, so I really don't know if what I'm planning is going to work, but I guess we're all going to find out together. Huh? So now we have decision time, because I'm not sure yet what this card is going to look like. I probably should score it. Yeah, let's do that. Sometimes I always keep a little panel size in USA 2 so that I can, you know, kind of play around with what do I want this to look like? How am I going to design this card? Because I think, you tell me, I think this is going to be cuter if the rainbow bleeds off the bottom of the card. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, actually, that'd be kind of cute on gray. Oh no, would that be cuter on gray? Now, this is the thing. This is when I start to look at this and think, because you know what comes after the storm? Well, that does. Oh my goodness. Now I don't know. I have a piece of gray. I'm going to grab it. Now, here's the thing. There are no dies for this particular stamp set. So what I was thinking was that I would have, oh, there's my hair. That is just horrible. What I was thinking was I would either have, you know, the rainbow come up like, you know, come up higher. Okay. And then it would say hello down there or hi there. Or, you know what I could do? I could have it offset, right? And then I could just take this cute little hi there and stamp it in white. Now I would be running a risk, of course, because when you, let's get this out. When you stamp in white on this cardstock, I'm probably going to have a little warping. So I might want to do this as a panel. Now, that's a thought too. Here's the thing. When a card is so simple, like what I'm about to do, you try to think about ways that maybe you can up the game a little. So if I were to stamp a little high there, right there at the bottom, and then I trimmed that panel down so that it had a thin outline of the white, like that. That could be actually really cute. Think about that. Thinking. Because here's the thing. If you're going to offset, you got to offset. Like, you have to mean it. You can't just do it slightly, but yet at the same time, I need to make sure there's enough room for that bad boy to have a little tiny bit of margin space. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to score yet. I am going to explore the gray option. Shall we? All right, I do have the brand new Misti. Of course, this tool, which is an amazing tool has simply been updated. Oh boy, you don't want to see that reflection, do you? I think the coolest thing about it, it's a little sturdier. Like when oh yeah, that light. It has a lip, right? And when you open it, let's see if I can move that light out of the way. It just kind of stays open more. You know what I'm saying? It just holds in place, and that's kind of cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp. But yeah, I do like this, and I feel like, well, let's turn it this way actually. I know people like the rulers to go the proper way, right? The thing about the Misti is if I had one choice and I could only have one, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't have to limit myself to one. I have multiples. But if I only had one, I would get the original because I feel like there's just more you can do with it. It's bigger, so it's going to give you more creative options, and I think that's pretty cool. I also like this little magnet garage. It's kind of like an appliance garage. I'd call it the magnet garage, but I think that's cool too. I'm going to bring this out from the side a little bit because what I want to do is I really do want to visualize how and where rainbow's going to go, right? And make sure that's centered enough. And now I'm going to get my stamp. And I am going to do the hi there because it's little, it's narrow, although would hey there work too? Part of me wants to do hey there, and I'll tell you why, because this could tuck in behind. I don't think I'm going to trim this panel down because I think if I do, it's going to be too small, but I'll show you this. What if I did that, like right about there, okay? So I know that this is going to stamp and the rainbow is going to cover it up a little bit. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm going to get this out of the way for now. This is a brand new stamp though, so I am going to need to do a little, I don't know, rubbing on it to get some of the mucky muck off. Now I think that's still in the right place. Let's push that right back up. Just want to verify. Yes, that looks straight, doesn't it? Straight enough. Okay, I'm going to do this just because it's brand new. I've never used it, and you know, it has sort of a coating on it, and stamps do get seasoned. In fact, I'm going to show you really quick one of the little, well, this is one of the things I do. Sometimes I'll just ink it up, and I'll take a piece of scrap cardstock or just my hand, and I'll just kind of wipe it off. I think I saw Jennifer McGuire do this with her hands, and then you end up with Versamark all over yourself. But you know what? There are worse things. This is in a good place. You're going to move. You're going to move. And I might grab one more magnet. I just get a little paranoid with these sticky stamps, so let me get one more magnet in there, just like that. Okay, next up, embossing magic. True story, when I first tried stamping years ago as a scrapbooker, I hated it because everything I stamped ended up covered in powder, and I knew nothing about this. And when I started card making and watching, of course, Jennifer McGuire and Gina Kay, and they all used embossing magic, it was like a light bulb went off. And I thought, holy crap, that's how they do it. Okay, Simon Clear embossing ink. That is what I have right now. Any embossing ink will work. My Versamark pad is completely dry. And I'm going to go ahead here. I hope this works. I really do, because I don't know. I may have to, I may have some warpage, and we're going to have to deal with that as we will. So I'm going to bring this down, drop that out of the way, and then bring in my Swiffer to apply some nice even pressure of the hay there, right? Because this is what we do. We do the Swiffer. I was using another cloth, but I have to be honest with you, the Swiffer just works. It's easy peasy and breezy. Now, where's my clothespin? Let's lift it up and see. We're going to get, oh yeah, that looks fantastic. Okay. Again, Misti tool, part of the reason this is so great for me is I'm just not that coordinated. Oh, actually, I guess I could clean my stamp. And if you give me a block and you told me to stamp that, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That is why a stamp positioner, and I began with the Misti, so I love this tool. It's what made stamping possible for me. I would not have continued because I would not have had success. Again, I think because I make simple cards, right? They don't have a lot going on. That having, you know, your simple elements done in a way that makes you happy, then you're going to be happy. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's put this out of the way, back with my other Mistis. There's a lot of them back there, friends. And someday, well, actually, I will tell you this. I'm planning a fun video for YouTube. And it's going to be, I'm calling it my 30,000 subscriber special. If I hit 30,000, I have some plans. And it's going to be a little cheesy, but it is going to be sort of an updated tour of this space here, because I do craft in my dining room, and I hope that makes you feel better about your corner of the basement or wherever you have to carve out, because I've been in here for 20 years, ever since I've been a crafter, and it works great for me, but I'd like to let people know that even people who work in this biz, it's not all tricked out. It's literally my dining room. Okay. Embossing powder. This is the Brutus Monroe Alabaster. I use this one a lot because I love it. And I will say this. Yes, I saw Christina Werner use it. And I'm like, well, Christina's using it. Maybe I should use it. But she uses it. Oh, I didn't get the greatest stamp of my ink. Do you see that? You know what? We're going to have to go with it, though, because we are live on camera. Well, we're not live. Okay, that I didn't get the greatest impression. But you know what? I'm still going to go with it. And those are the kinds of things that if I'm doing something, you know, for a video that's not like this kind of video, that's not a I don't know what I'm doing, then I would have known that I probably needed to stamp that off a couple of times to get the stamp primed. So if you ever have this happen, right, where it's not perfect, just, you know, you can start over, but you know that your stamp just wasn't quite primed enough. So I'm going to blow on that. I'm going to get my heat tool here. Okay, I think that looks pretty nice. So now I am going to go ahead and get ready to prep my card base. And you know, actually that's not horrible warping, you know? So I think that's going to work. I will be right back. I'm going to grab the rest of the things to put the card together. Actually, I lied. I'm going, because I don't have time to really flatten this, I'm going to put it between a folded piece of paper on my platform, and I'm going to just run it back and forth a few times just to see if that takes the warping out. Now I'm not, oh, that's not a lot of pressure at all. In fact, I can feel that. That's probably not going to do anything. You know, the reality is I am going to be gluing my panel directly down to the card base, so it probably doesn't matter. Okay, the squeak's not too bad. Oh, I spoke too soon. Let's see. Let's see if this makes any difference. A little. Okay, good. So let's get you out of the way. Die cut machine. Yeah, there's still a little warpage. Okay, so what we're going to do, I just want to make sure before, I always do this before I glue a panel. I want to make sure that's the right size. And you know what? I don't know what I was thinking. That is a little off. So how am I going to cut this? Oh, it's a little bit, you see that? I cut it a little bit short. Okay, let's do the same thing here. Let's just take it off of this side and let's come in and go like that. I think that'll work. Hold the guards down, cut. Okay, that's better. All right, moving you out of the way. Now, one thing you'll have to tell me in the comments below, or if you're catching the premiere of this as well, I'm sure we're going to have some discussion, but was gray a good choice? I mean, you know, there's definitely, you know, my psychology behind it, right? Is that there's a storm and then the rainbow. Yeah. All right, I'm going to be scoring this at 5.5. This will be top folding. And of course, as we know, that is a, what is it, 4.25 wide by 5.5 tall, standard US A2, which is not the same as an A2 globally. Well, but you know, we do inches here, so we're just outliers. So what I'm going to do is add my dot runner, and actually I'm just going to move this off to the side a little bit, onto the back of my panel. And I'm going to give it a good coating, especially where the embossing happens. Is that where yeah, you can feel the warpage, because I want this to, you know, go right down onto the panel. So sometimes when it seems like that might be overkill, you know, sometimes you gotta give it the dot runner that it calls for. And then one of my favorite tricks with the Score Buddy, push it up, right? Push it into the corner like that, hold it down, and then you do the same with your cardstock like that. And then you quickly have a perfectly lined up panel on a card base that has no weird overlap. See that? And isn't that nice? So another thing I like to do, let's take this out of the way. I like to get my Teflon bone folder. had some questions about the Teflon bone folder. Someone said, does it really make a difference? And you know, I've always been told that it doesn't leave a sheen, but I've been testing lately on my cards, and I've been using the bone folder that comes with the Score Buddy, and I haven't seen a sheen. So maybe the Score Buddy bone folder is okay, but here's what I like to do. I do like to press onto things. Does that make sense? I'm just pressing it on. It's funny, I look at the time on the video and I think this really is going a little longer than it needs to. Oh, friends, simplicity takes time. But now, see how cute that is with the little pop off to the side? And now I just want to make sure that this is going to be, well, I think I got to come over even more, because again, what I want to do is I want to have clearance for my clouds like that. That looks pretty cute. Okay, let's get some foam squares first to pop up my cloud, because I do think a little floating would be cute. I'm old school. I don't do a ton of dimension, but when I do, I definitely want to make sure that it's going to float high enough. So I am going to get my dot runner and I am going to just put that right there. So I know that is where it's going to go, right? I want to make sure I get that in the right place. Is that going to be good? Great. Now, because I've already created this lovely little, you know, base for my strips, all that mucky muck's out of the way. And now I'll just pop this down right here at the edge. And I think I can, I don't think I need to have my Score Buddy to do that, right? Let's go like this and let's go, oh, right? We don't want to be there. We want to be a little, oh, we want to be a little bit closer like that. All right, let's try that. Pushing, again, pushing right into the edge. Oh, the stress. Okay. Now, before I commit, let's make sure. Okay, that's better. Thank you, Score Buddy. Now, let's get our foam squares off the back. Oop. This is always helpful to have this little, this guy, the pen blade. This thing doesn't cut much of anything, but boy, is it great for the process of getting this up. Now, I am curious again in the comments below. You know this is a simple card, right? But do you find that if you plan something simple and you have success, then are you more confident to try to get out and do other things with your stamps that are a little bit more adventurous? Does that make sense? Because I find that I do, and I want to get this as high up as I can get it. And then I just want the eyes to be straight. And I think that's it. Great. Okay. I need to adjust the white balance on this because right now it seems really blown out. That's better. That is better. And that is my finished card project. So it's pretty simple, right? This probably could have been pushed over a little bit, but you know, there's one simple card. And what's going on here from a design standpoint? Well, we have a simple rainbow, right? We have an asymmetrical balance where things are shifted. If you divide this down the middle, what you have on the left is different than what you have on the right. That is typically what an asymmetrical balance looks like. And it tends to be a little more energized, a little more fun, a little more unpredictable. We've got our stamps off to the side here. And again, a little bit of repetition with the white. We got a little bit of repetition with the pink, tying that together. And it's a pretty simple set, or a simple card project in the end. But again, when you have a nice big set of sentiments, there's so many things that you can do with them, right? But again, I wanted to bring in my dies because these have also been staring at me. And now I can say that I actually put them to use. So that's the finished card project. What do you think? Let me know below. Of course, if you have really cruel things to say, maybe keep those to yourself. It's fine. My skin is about as thin as an onion, and that's okay. Because I read somewhere once, actually someone told me once, years ago, I had the meanest comment on my blog. It was related to something I had written. It had nothing to do with crafting. And well, actually it was a really mean comment on Facebook. And regarding something I had written, a blog post about my daughter going away to college in her freshman year, and someone was really nasty about it. And a friend of mine said, you know what, Cathy, It's fine. Creatives, because I had said I think I need thicker skin. And my friend Paul from the UK, Paul from the UK had said, you know, creatives don't need thick skin. They need thin skin. We need it to be porous so that we can let life in, so that we can let life permeate our entire beings. And that's how we can really tap into our creativity. So I always keep that in mind when someone writes something stupid. For a minute, it's like, and then I'm like, yeah, you know what? Porous skin. Life's coming in, life's going out. So I hope this video was fun for you to watch. I appreciate you hanging in to the end. And again, this series has been really fun for me because it also challenges me to get better at talking live. You know, I'm recording this as I create. And that's a new thing for me, but it's been really fun for my creativity and to help me understand my own process. So I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you back here again with another new stamps. Now what? Bye, everyone. That's pretty cute. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.